for intro, I look at the camera.
No.
No?
You can see the whole time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Hi, I'm Savannah Steamer, and I interned with Elite FTS for summer 2014.
So my name is Jordan Hauser. I was an intern with Elite FTS through the journalism department. Fall semester for me of 2013-14 school year, so that was in the fall of 2013. I finished up an internship through them, and in the winter was offered a part-time position while I was still in school, which developed into a full-time position upon graduation in May 2014.
I came out to Elite FTS to train in February of 2014 because a good friend of mine, Associate Editor Jordan Hauser, was an intern here at the time as well. So I started training on the weekends. During that time, I came out and got to know some of the people, met Dave, met John Meadows, and then after that, Elite FTS needed some help with Learn to Train 8 with a marketing intern, and that's when I really started becoming involved on a day-to-day basis with the company.
My name is Derek Dahlgner, and I have been an Elite FTS intern from June, July, August, and September. I originally came here to intern with John Meadows, and upon arriving, he extended this opportunity to intern at Elite FTS as well. I've been following John for a really long time, so that goes hand in hand with Elite FTS and Dave Tate as well. So I jumped on this opportunity right away, and it's been a great experience.
Specifically, I would say the articles that I was reading when I first started following Elite FTS, they were really interesting. They really caught my attention on subjects that I'd never even had interest in the past. So I believe it was the quality of the articles that I read, and I thought to myself, man, I would really love to be able to contribute to something like that.
And so the semester that I started on as an intern, it was my senior year, and so I was editor-in-chief of our school newspaper. I was at Capital University, which is about 45 minutes to an hour, and it was the first time that Elite FTS had ever done internships, and it was me and then a girl from Ohio State, and we kind of alternated days, and so on Monday and Wednesday she'd be there, Tuesday and Thursday I'd be there, and that went on for the whole semester. I worked pretty closely with Sheena Leadham, who is the content coordinator, and then also Steve Colescott, who is the senior content manager, and did a lot of work on editing articles, got close to some of the sponsored athletes just from discussing article ideas with them, helping them work through issues that they ran into in writing. And then also being at the seminars, the Learn to Train seminars, and the UGSS with having all of the athletes around and doing in-person interviews on camera, and a pretty wide variety of experiences really, work from writing to editing other people's work to doing stuff on camera.
Well, it was interesting because I had already had an idea about what Elite FTS was kind of about through the articles, and then I came here and trained and realized that everything that was on the site was authentic.
My internship came about through meeting Mark Watts at the NSCA state conference, Ohio State Conference, and also through going to the Learn to Train 8 with JL and his staff.
Well, the first day I actually came out here on a Saturday to train, and Dave really didn't say anything to me until we were about halfway through the workout, and he looked at me with a really straight face and he said, "That is the f***ing shirt I've ever seen before in my life."
Actually, my internship started with a prank call. Mark Watts called me on Jordan's cell phone. I didn't answer, I was taking a nap. But if I did, I probably would have said, like, "What the f*** do you want?" So it's a good thing that I waited for them to call me back again and realized it was Mark's voice. I'd never heard him talk, but just based on the exercise index, when Mark Watts calls you, you know it's Mark Watts.
And so when I started, I was interested in powerlifting. I had never done it, but I was registered for a December meet on my first day, and so the first week that I was here was on that Wednesday that Steve Colescott brought me out, and I met Todd Brock, a West Side veteran, and Ted Tolston, one of our sponsored athletes, and they were pretty intimidating guys. It was early in the morning when they were lifting. Ted was preparing for a meet, and Todd was coaching him as he has been for a while. And Steve introduced me to them and told them that I was going to join the weekend crew of guys lifting, and so that's what got me really started. I came out with them that weekend and stuck with them the whole time through the meet in December. Ted Tolston came out to the meet, handled me at the meet, did a fantastic job, and it really helped a lot of getting through that first experience, the intimidating atmosphere, and getting close to guys who, when I first met, I really looked up to and still do.
I'd already met a couple of the staff members and everyone was really friendly, and so I was expecting it to be a fairly casual work environment, and it was very much felt like a family. And so my first day, I felt very welcomed by everyone. Everyone was friendly, cracking jokes, and just sort of welcoming me.
The internship experience was a little bit different since obviously we're not doing curls and squats in the office all day, but everybody's working to put the best content, best products out there, and it's a real family atmosphere. It's really cool because I come from a background of family businesses and stuff like that, so to work into another office environment where it's a small business and everybody knows everybody and it's like a family, and we can do things like go to a Columbus Clippers game together and enjoy an evening and, you know, be friends outside of work.
Being in the office and hanging out with everyone was always a blast. I don't think I really ever stopped laughing the whole time I was in the office. The people there definitely know how to work hard and play hard. Definitely a really good environment to be around. You know, fortunately there were some other people that had just gotten hired there that are my age as well, so they're easy to relate to. You know, it made me feel comfortable instead of, you know, maybe hanging out with a bunch of guys that are, you know, 10 years older than me or so.
My background was with journalism. I'm a student at OSU. I am an English major, and I came in and I started working with the editorial staff, working on the heads and decks for the articles, editing articles, a little bit of copywriting for some of the videos that we post up, and I also helped out with some of the volunteering that we did.
I did a lot of different things as an intern. It was primarily a marketing experience. I did some stuff with the exercise index. I did some stuff with products, especially product copy, and then just optimizing some things on the website. But additionally, pretty big responsibility was Learn to Train 8, managing the databases for that, doing cost reports on the expenses, reaching out to the attendees if we needed information so things could move smoothly, and then obviously being an asset when it was actually happening. So helping at the hotel during the conferences, helping in the weight room with the weights, making sure everybody had everything they needed to bring about a killer event.
Well, I spent a lot of time uploading videos to the Exercise Index and being a featured author on there, which definitely comes across really good on any kind of resume. Being a featured author through, you know, obviously showing my in-depth experience from anatomy and training. And then I was also used as a video demo in the Exercise Index as well.
And so about 8 weeks into the semester, Dave emailed me with a big project that I was going to work on, and every intern that's been here since me has also had a big project. But what he gave to me was the responsibility to help design an ebook that was the Elite FTS company story, and it would be an internal company document that would go out to all of the team, current members, and people that would later be joining. And the idea behind that was giving me the opportunity to work on a pretty extensive document that would help me in a resume, help me in seeking another position, and really add something substantial. It turned out I didn't need that because I was brought on, but before that was ever decided, there was obviously the concern for my future and the willingness to give me the opportunity to do things that would help me out once my internship was over.
Everybody knows everybody in the office. Everybody cares about everybody. So when I graduated and was looking for work, the purchasing director position opened up, and I was called. I was thrilled. So now I still work here full-time as purchasing director, and have a blast every day. Outside of just making sure we have inventory levels to serve the customers, I get to test new products, knee wraps, wrist wraps, belts, stuff like that. I mean, it's a dream job where I get to tie in my business knowledge, but also my passion for weightlifting and powerlifting. But I mean, outside of that, it's just a great place to work. Everybody knows everybody. Everybody knows what's on their plate. People are more than willing to help out. And then it just carries on over straight into the gym where we all come together and are getting ready for our meet in December.
Well, I would say I definitely got a real live reality check on how important networking is. I mean, the whole reason I am here is probably because I've been a client of John Meadows for two years. And from there, I was able to, you know, earn his respect and earn his trust. And where I applied for an intern with him, it also extended into an internship with Elite FTS. And then from there is where I also got another chance to meet, obviously, another legend through powerlifting, which is Dave Tate. And I can't even tell you how many hours after training me and Dave have talked and just, you know, from A to Z on different training methods, new ideas, ways to market myself. It's and I would have never gotten that experience if I wouldn't have had that networking possibility through John. And then through there, I've also met Mark Watts, who has a lot of important connections as well. He's been very in depth with strength coaching throughout his career, and then I've learned a majority of things from him as well.
I would say that one of the main differences was just the number of people that I had to become familiar with. All of our athletes and coaches and all of the people that write for us. I had to take the first couple of weeks to kind of get to know who they were through their logs and the articles that they'd already written. And so that was a really big difference, to get that background knowledge about them, because I'd previously not been very familiar with them. So that was really fun to find out who they were and to read their stuff, and then to be able to go in and edit articles and to talk about them with their heads and decks and all of that.
I plan on keeping the relationship with Elite FTS, and I think that is something that's a lot different about this internship than maybe a lot of other people. Is they go and do an intern at maybe a university or something, and you're just a number there, honestly. And after you leave, unless you are really something special, you might not stand out. Well, I've been here, I've been able to create some really good relationships with the people, and they're more than just colleagues now. I consider them friends.
In college, I studied financial economics and marketing, and I had worked with a few other companies in the fitness industry, just kind of as a rep, just kind of messing around, doing some social media consulting and stuff like that. And I came to Elite FTS because I wanted an internship, and I wanted to work with a company that was passionate about the same things I was passionate about, and did things the right way. Because you'll notice a lot of the content on Elite FTS is Dave talking about business. So one of the coolest parts of my internship experience was when Dave would come into the conference room and I'd be sitting there eating lunch, and Dave would talk about the lessons he's learned as a small business owner, developing his brand, and the sacrifices and investments that he's made in Elite FTS, the good decisions, the bad decisions, awesome situations and shitty situations. All that kind of came together and just made this the perfect experience. I mean, it's hard to articulate why you'd want to be at Elite FTS, but I think everybody on the other side of the camera knows why they would want to work at Elite FTS. I think it's a little bit different for everybody.
So when I saw the internship initially posted, I immediately decided to apply for it. And the ability to combine those two things is really, I think, what made me able to enjoy it so much. There aren't very many places where you are able to get quality journalism and work really intensely on writing and developing those skills, and it also have a personal passion at the same time. And so for that, that's really what made the internship and everything that came from it really unique for me, and it isn't something I think I could have found elsewhere.
You are definitely able to have fun. With that being said, a lot of work gets done, and there are deadlines, but at the end of the day, it really is a family environment. Maybe a little bit of a dysfunctional family. But everybody has a good time. There's smiles on lots of faces, and you really couldn't ask for more. I mean, this is what I wear to work every day. You probably can't see the full outfit, but I have Converse, athletic shorts, got Elite FTS apparel on, and it's cool that coming from a finance background and a business background to be able to come into work every day and have fun, still do what I want to do professionally, and also do it in a casual environment where I know everybody and I can tell a few jokes too.
Okay.
Oh my God, it's so true.